I actually rise today fearful for the future of our state. I know my colleague from Walker said that this is a simple bill, but it's simple because it's short, but it's very far-reaching. The legislation before us, 6553, in my mind, is nothing short of an unconstitutional power grab pushed by a party unwilling to accept the will of Michigan's voters. The checks and balances system enshrined in our democratic institutions is part of the foundation that makes our democracy strong. So much so that it's enshrined in our state constitution. Now, the Constitution says the powers of government are divided into three branches: legislative, executive, and judicial. No person exercising powers of one branch shall exercise powers properly belonging to another branch. This bill will erode that foundation by blurring the responsibilities of our three branches of government, providing legislators with a power they were never intended to wield. The legislature makes the laws, the executive branch enforces the laws, and the judicial branch interprets the laws. To me, it's troubling that I have to stand before you today and lecture you on civics. But this bill literally says what it says in the bill. The legislature is hereby authorized and empowered to intervene in any action commenced in any court in this state. The word intervene means to come between so as to prevent or alter a result or course of events. It seems pretty clear to me that this legislation tramples on the idea of no person exercising powers of one branch shall exercise powers properly belonging to another branch. Now, Mr. Speaker, over the years I've had the pleasure of reading and speaking to thousands of students in my district. It's honestly, I think, one of the best parts of the job. I love it more than anything. And whenever I speak to the students, I always give them time to ask questions. And occasionally the question comes up about the differences between Republicans and Democrats. They ask, what's the difference between Republicans and Democrats? And I usually say the difference, used to say, I guess, regarding the size of the government and the role of government. But I don't think that's going to be the case after this. I think I can talk about how one party believes in government overreach and does not respect our Constitution. By passing this legislation, we send the message that the rule of law is irrelevant to those in power and that no power is out of the reach of the legislature. Because, let's be clear, this legislation would have never been introduced, much less put on the agenda, had we seen different results in the top-of-the-ticket elections less than a month ago. Despite the people of Michigan making their voices heard on Election Day and choosing a governor, attorney general, secretary of state who will defend the rule of law and our democratic institutions. Instead of respecting the will of the people, this body now seeks to tie the hands of those duly elected before they even enter office. Every person who votes in favor of this bill today is telling the people of their own district, I don't trust you. And I don't care what you want. I've got the power, and I'm going to hold on to it no matter the cost. Now, too many in this body are focused on the next election, the next office. Instead, I would ask all of you to look beyond the next 2 or 4 years, 6, 8 years, and instead look at the long-term impact that this precedent is setting. This will open the floodgates for the future power grabs that distort our balance of power. Mr. Speaker, not only is this bill, I think, will be deemed unconstitutional, I think it is vindictive, and I think the timing is highly suspicious. I urge my colleagues to vote against this terrible legislation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.